know that she was dedicated to helping all patients and their families get through their cancer diagnosis easier, whether it was talking about the disease, treatment, or anything she could help with. After she passed away, my family and I partnered with Southcoast to create the Nicole Potkowa Patient Assistance Fund, which perpetuates her dedication to caring for patients and family affected by cancer. A cancer diagnosis means many things. It means treatment, but it also means transportation, time out of work, food, and a host of other challenges. And the fund is dedicated to helping patients and their families who are receiving care at the Southcoast Cancer Center accomplish those things. We have been doing this race now for 4 years, and it has been a tremendous success, thanks to so many people who have volunteered, showed up, signed up, and participated. So we are pleased to announce this year the 4th annual race. And out of an abundance for caution, this year's race will remain virtual. Last year was our first virtual race in the COVID era, and it was a tremendous success. We raised over $40,000, and although we weren't running together, in some ways we were closer than ever. Go to our website and sign up, and you can see that you can make teams, you can challenge other people, and really kind of bring out the competitive nature that we strive for in sports. One of the feedback that we've gotten too, though, is some people feel they can't complete a 5K. Certainly I'm not in the best shape this year as I have been in the past, truth be told. This year's thrown a lot of curves and a lot of challenges. So you can break up the race this year. You can do it in small increments. You could do it on your lunch break while you're walking and just log the distance. You can run a mile at a time. You could do the whole race, but whatever is easier for you. And you don't have to pick a specific day to complete the race. We have decided that you can do it over the entire course of the month of October, which is fantastic. So we look forward to seeing people running on the street, in the t-shirts, posting stories, sharing the event. Please spread the word, because it's a fantastic event to celebrate a fantastic woman for a fantastic cause.
All right, welcome everyone from the South Coast. It's Mike Sylvia. We're here with Dr. John Potkowa. He's from Southcoast Health. We're going to discuss the 2021 Nicole Potkowa 5K virtual race and walk. You just watched the video. It's October 31st. I'm going to have the link in the description where you can register. It's charityfootprints.com South Coast Health. I'm going to put that on the screen. You guys can see that. You can go to that. So welcome, Dr. Potkowa.
Hi, Mike. First of all, please call me John. It's a lot easier, and I am really excited to be back on back on the show with New Bedford Guide. It's been a little while, so thank you very much for making some time for us.
Yeah, we did a nice weekly show a few years back. You were very popular. One of the most common questions was, are you accepting new patients? And it was like a very common no, because you have you're a very excellent doctor and very much in demand. So this time we're talking about your wife, right? So we're talking about a special thing for you. So just give me an idea what the 2021 Nicole Potkowa 5K virtual race walk is.
Sure. So as the video just played, said, my wife, Nicole Potkowa, passed away from breast cancer in 2016. And those, everyone who knew my wife, and during the course of her, time with breast cancer, one of the things that she became passionate about was helping other women and kind of deal with their breast cancer, educate them, help them with questions. Not just breast cancer, all cancer, and also, their families, because there's the truth to the saying is no one does it alone with a cancer diagnosis. After she passed away, the Southcoast Cancer Center and I came up with the idea for an annual 5K run to help raise money for their patient and caregiver assistance fund. Southcoast was generous to name the fund after my wife. And this fund is dedicated to helping patients and their families with the non-medical components of a cancer diagnosis. What are the non-medical components of a cancer diagnosis? Things as big as paying utility bills and food bills if you're unable to work, possibly helping patients get wigs if they've lost their hair from chemotherapy, helping children with some of the questions and maybe connecting them with counselors, utility bills, and even little pick-me-ups, because it takes a team to care for a patient with cancer. And some patients have bigger teams, some patients have smaller teams, but we wanted to make sure that, you know, a cancer diagnosis is incredibly stressful, and to try to alleviate as much stress as possible to help patients successfully navigate their care and do well with their care, which is what the fund was created for. And we've been doing it for 4 years now. The first 2 years were in person, and last year was virtual, and this year is virtual again because of COVID. But I'm really pleased that the community, you know, we've raised over $200,000 so far over the past 4 years for this fund. So it has been an unbelievable, touching how much the support from the community has been towards, you know, my family and the cancer center. And, you know, some people know this, some people don't, but my wife and I weren't from here. We grew up, you know, out of state, and we've been here 12 years, but this became our home. And we were only here 2 years before Nicole was diagnosed with cancer. We moved here in 2009. She was diagnosed in 2011. She was 37. And at no time did we ever feel alone, though. And I think that's part of the reason I'm so committed to the community, in terms of caring for them as a doctor, and also participating in an event like this that gives back to the patients and the families in this community.
Yeah, cancer I think impacts everyone. My mom passed away from cancer. My dad passed away from cancer. I think everyone knows someone, and someone like you who had someone very close, like your wife, pass away. So these are important things. And like you said, that people don't understand is tertiary and secondary costs outside of the devastation, you know, what it could cost just for the medical treatment. So it's great when you have money that can go towards something like this. So this year it's virtual, which is great because of, you know, obviously COVID. We have to worry about the social distance stuff, but it's also something that we can, I think it makes it easier to participate in many ways, because like you said, you don't have to do the whole 5K, you know, right away. You can participate at your pace. So why don't you just talk about that a little bit more so people can participate? It doesn't have to all be done at one time, right?
Yes. You know, so each year we learn from feedback from our participants and what's working, what's not working. And one theme we heard was, for a lot of people, they thought the distance was, you know, too much. Maybe they hadn't been out and exercising. Maybe they thought they couldn't run. And we, you know, initially said, you know, it's a walk. You can walk it as well. You can do teams. But, you know, the Cancer Center and the marketing team and our whole team came up with the idea, which I thought was great this year, was that we can spread it out over the entire month of October. So the benefit of a virtual event is it's not one day, it's the entire month. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and my wife had breast cancer. However, this is not a breast cancer race. This is an all cancer, you know, kind of endeavor to get the support out for. So, but you can chunk it up if you want. You can break it down, and on this new platform for the race, this Charity Footprints, which is great, you can do that. You can log, you know, walking from the car. You can do certain 1 mile a week, whatever you want to do, and with your team to make it more enjoyable, feasible. We want to encourage as many people to participate, because even a small walk, you know, and you feel like you contribute to something bigger. And I think that's, you know, life's problems and certain things seem sometimes insurmountable, but when we break them down into small pieces with people we care and work together with, we can accomplish so much more. You know, Margaret Mead, one of my favorite quotes is, "Never doubt that a small group of people can change the world." In fact, it's the only thing that I ever did, is so true. And this year, the race virtual again, as much as we want to get back to in person, and we will get back into person, you know, I'm pretty confident next year. Just with the state of the state, we decided one more year to be virtual. And Mike, you said it, you know, correctly, that in some ways it allowed more people to participate, because now we have registrants and people walking in Oregon, Texas, all across the country. And there are so many people who always said they want to participate, and now they can. So a little bit different, but as we've learned over these past 2 years, we grow, we adapt, we persevere, and we continue to work together to make the best of the situations that are thrown at us.
Now, can people not participate and still donate?
Excellent question. Absolutely. I believe on the page there's also a donate or sponsor a runner, so you can donate directly to the Nicole Podkowa Patients Assistance Fund. And we've already had some really generous sponsors who have done that, and I want to personally say thank you for that. And but yes, so you can make a donation to the fund without committing to the walk or run.
Yeah, I noticed the walk to end Alzheimer's. People go out there and you kind of raise money, sponsor me, as I do my walk or run. So it's great that you can have the opportunity, because some people maybe they're not in the area, maybe they just can't do it, and that's a great way. You can still support the cause, because again, this isn't to go to research or anything like that. There's so much extra cost that goes along with cancer. I remember going 10 straight days with my mom to chemo, right? And there's a cost associated with that. Some people might have family come from out of state and want to spend time with them. There's a cost with that. Like you said, children have their needs that maybe their parents are going through it. So it's much more than just research and treatment. There's that extra cost that goes with it. And
that's why I love, this type of race, because, and there are lots of opportunities. So in treating cancer, it's vitally important. I think we support the institutions who are doing the research, and we have many great organizations in this area who are doing it and across the country. But taking that research and then applying it to actual patients and their families, and not just delivering the care, but what you said is kind of the best of both worlds, because it's not just receiving the medication, like you said. I had the privilege to meet some of the patients who have received funds from the Nicole Potcowa Fund. And one gentleman, he was in tears. He was surviving his cancer diagnosis, but he was afraid he was going to starve to death. He didn't have enough money for groceries. And he just couldn't believe that, the cancer wasn't his biggest fear, actually. And we see that data across the country, that people fear the cost of, or the implications from their cancer diagnosis, sometimes more than the actual cancer diagnosis itself. I saw a patient of my own patient the other day, who husband has advanced cancer, and she wept, and she told me that the fund paid her a utility bill. And it just really touches home that we were able to help, because we received so much help from people, and that's what's part of it. So
yeah, and that's the thing. I think it kind of drives you to continue to do it, because you get to hear those stories from people impacted. And if people don't know Dr. Potkowa, you can see people posting in there. Wonderful doctor. My parents love him. We thank you for all you do, John. The best doctor. So you have a lot of people watching. And that
yeah,
I think that, that's one thing I've known about you since we used to do a show a few years back, is you're very popular. You're very authentic. People, really do see what you provide to the community. So I really appreciate that myself. Someone who has had 2 parents die from cancer. It's great to see something like this go out there and impact the community in a positive way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do. I recognize all these names. Hi, Penny. They mean a lot to, all doctors, but, each one of these, their stories and their people. And I've been so fortunate. So many people say, like, oh, I'm so fortunate to have, you as my doctor. It's much more the other way, that these people who've come into my life, for the past, 12 years that I've been here. And we continue to have this great relationship, and we've gone through, good times and bad times, certain things. So, and that's what this community, I keep going back to, that is how special I think this community is, and how grateful my children and I feel to be part of it, because we're in it together in a host of different ways. So, and we are so fortunate to have a world-class cancer center locally. I mean, getting sick is really inconvenient, I always say. Receiving your care shouldn't be. And, Southcoast, God bless them, has dedicated over the past 12 years to building out, a suite of different services for our patients. But, but we're talking about our cancer centers, and our cancer centers are second to none in their treatment. The doctors are brilliant. The medical oncology, radiation oncology, the nurses, the techs, the front desk. Everyone is on board with just comfort and compassion and just taking care and motivated for the patients. And to have that right within these communities of Fall River and Fairhaven. Going to Boston, Dana Farber and the other institutions they have great resources too as well, but it's a lot further and it's a lot more expensive. So when Nicole wasn't feeling well, if there was a question, to be right down the road, to go to Fairhaven or sometimes Fall River for IV fluids, for just to check in with your doctors, they were always there. And I feel like an honorary member of the cancer centers. They play a big part in my life still, and I love the team there. And I still see Nicole's nurses who cared for her, participate in the walk and just make me smile. So we're really lucky to continue to have such great care locally.
Yeah, people don't. If you haven't seen it, my mom was actually one of the first patients over when the Fairhaven one opened up. But if people don't know, Southcoast has a program called Camp Angel Wings. We've done interview with that, where the children get a nice camp during the summer for bereavement. There's also an annual, if I remember right, it's an annual survivors that actually come together and they celebrate. It's right at the Fairhaven Center. Yeah, I've been involved with these kind of things because we have a partnership with Southcoast. I get a chance to see stuff that other people don't get to see. And this is why I love doing these interviews, because people just don't know what's going on. They just think of Southcoast, the three main hospitals that you see at Charlton and St. Luke's. They don't really see the other stuff that goes on behind the scenes and what else is out there.
The Survivor Day is such a great thing to be part of it. A celebration of life, and which is such a unique thing that the Cancer Center has done, and how it continues to grow and more people. And one of Nicole's doctors one time, she commented on, we were commenting how busy the cancer centers were, and kind of were sad about it in a way. Like, boy, is there that much cancer? And their doctor said, there's that many people who are surviving and living with cancer now, which is really a remarkable thing. In our lifetime, the advancements in care for patients who have cancer is nothing short of a miracle. I mean, my wife never got sick from all her chemotherapy she ever received because of the new treatments for nausea and vomiting and the new regimens. I mean, so, and from, cutting edge, therapies with immune therapy, cutting edge radiation oncology therapy, surgeons, the breast clinic, it is, just a nice resource to have right here in our community, because no one wants to hear they have cancer. And once you digest that, and as a primary care doctor, I'm usually on the front lines of making that diagnosis and finding out the cancer in terms of.
So we'll take a few more comments.
There was something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a little delay there.
Oh, that's okay. Do we have a?
Yeah. So Sharon says, "Hey, Doc, thanks for keeping me alive. Do you think a 10-day motorcycle trip is too much for a 65-year-old?"
Not for you, Sharon. Like a Timex. Take a lick and keep on ticking.
Yeah. So this is a great part of social media. You get to connect to so many people.
I love it.
But hopefully we've hit home with some people out there. Sign up, get to participate in this. You have the whole month of October. If you can't participate, you can still donate. You can still put some money and help out people that are, potentially struggling. Like you heard, some people, maybe they don't have food, or maybe they don't have the funds to take a bus, because not everyone has a vehicle, right? So you don't know how people, what they're going through and what they might need. So we appreciate your time, and I'll let you close with some closing statement.
Hey, Mike, thank you very much. It's great to be back on the Bedford Guide, and I look forward now to, hopefully to getting back on more. To everyone who's tuned in tonight and commented, thank you very much. To every single person who's donated and signed up and participated in the walk, on behalf of my entire family, my wife's entire family, the Cancer Center, our sincerest gratitude and thanks. For people out there who haven't done it yet, jump in, don't be afraid. We can do this together. And if you can't participate this year or aren't able to, either donate, that's okay. If we just spread the word, talk it up, and together we're just better. And for everyone who's running, I look forward to seeing you outside. I look forward to seeing the shirts. I love the shirts. The media and marketing department did a great job in changing up the logo this year with a little bit of pink, and that looks great. And I want to say thank you to everyone at the Cancer Center and everyone at Southcoast who continues to make this event more and more successful. And I look forward to just another great year of raising funds for an important cause.
Yeah, the one thing everyone can do is share this video. So no matter what your means are or ability is, you can share this video, let other people know about it, so we can at least get the word to the biggest audience as possible. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and thanks for Dr. Potkowa for sharing your time that you have. We know how valuable doctors' times are nowadays. So thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you, Mike.